My name is Jason, and this is how the story of my infidelity began, an unforgettable chapter that haunts me still. It all started last month, amidst the fluorescent aisles of Pet Paradise, a quaint pet store tucked away in the heart of downtown. I remember it vividly, a chilly Tuesday afternoon when the golden hues of late autumn painted the city in a melancholic beauty. The air carried the scent of dried leaves and promises of imminent snow. I had wandered into Pet Paradise with a singular purpose, to find a new heater for our goldfish's aquarium, a task I deemed essential after the last one malfunctioned, and nearly chilled poor Goldie. As I approached the counter, ready to fulfill my duty as caretaker of our household pets, I was met with a sight that would forever alter the course of my life. Behind the register stood Ashley, a woman of striking allure with stormy eyes that seemed to capture the essence of the changing seasons. Her bright smile greeted me, igniting a spark that I hadn't felt in years. "Hey there," she chirped, her voice warm and inviting. "Finding everything okay?" I mumbled something about the heater, trying to maintain composure as her gaze lingered on mine a moment longer than necessary. She was engaging in a way that drew me in effortlessly, as if we had known each other beyond the confines of this mundane pet store. Over the weeks that followed, I found myself returning to Pet Paradise more frequently than usual. Each visit was ostensibly for pet supplies, dog treats, cat litter, bird feed, but in truth, it was to catch another glimpse of Ashley. Our conversations grew longer, more personal. We bonded over shared interests in literature and obscure indie films, topics that seemed trivial, yet forged a connection between us. One afternoon, after deliberating over the pros and cons of various fish foods, Ashley slipped me her phone number with a shy smile. "In case you have any more questions," she said, her cheeks flushed with a hint of uncertainty. I hesitated only briefly before saving her number in my phone, rationalizing it as harmless. Little did I know that this small act would be the first pebble in an avalanche that would soon engulf my life. As days turned into weeks, my interactions with Ashley became more clandestine. We met after her shift, grabbing coffee or strolling through the park under the pretext of discussing pet care tips. Yet with each stolen moment, the guilt gnawed at me like a persistent ache. I found myself withdrawing from Lisa, my wife of 10 years. She noticed the change in me, the distance that grew with each passing day. One evening, as we sat in our living room surrounded by the comfortable silence of routine, she finally voiced her concern. "Is everything okay, Jason?" Her voice was gentle, tinged with worry. I looked into her eyes, once so familiar and comforting, now clouded with apprehension. My throat tightened, betraying the words I knew would shatter her world. I've met someone," I confessed, the weight of my admission hanging heavy in the air. Lisa's reaction was immediate, a mixture of disbelief, hurt, and a raw, visceral pain that cut through me like a knife. She demanded to know everything, every detail of my betrayal. "How could I have done this to her?" she cried out, tears streaming down her face. I had no answers that could soothe her anguish. All I could offer was the truth, that I had fallen into something I couldn't control, a whirlwind of emotions and desires that had blinded me to everything I held dear. In the days that followed, the rift between Lisa and me widened irreparably. She couldn't forgive me, nor could I forgive myself for what I had done. The looming specter of divorce cast a shadow over our once happy home, a casualty of my indiscretions. As I sit here now, recounting these events with a heavy heart, I am left grappling with the consequences of my actions. Ashley has faded into the background, recognizing the devastation our affair wrought upon someone else's life. And Lisa, I can only hope that one day she finds it in her heart to forgive me, though I know deep down that some wounds may never fully heal. This, then, is the beginning of my story, an admission of guilt, a plea for redemption that may never come. Weeks turned into months, and the aftermath of my confession continued to unravel our lives. Lisa and I went through the motions of marriage counseling, trying desperately to salvage what remained of our fractured relationship. The sessions were filled with tears, accusations, and a pervasive sense of betrayal that hung heavy in the air. Lisa oscillated between anger and deep sorrow, grappling with the reality of my infidelity. Each day seemed like a battle as she navigated through a torrent of emotions: disbelief, heartbreak, and a profound sense of loss. Her once bright spirit had dimmed, replaced by a hollow sadness that mirrored my own guilt. I tried to make amends in small ways, offering apologies that felt inadequate and promises I wasn't sure I could keep. Yet despite my efforts, I could see the trust between us eroding like sand slipping through my fingers. The weight of my actions pressed down on us both, suffocating any hope of reconciliation. Meanwhile, Ashley had quietly disappeared from my life, recognizing the devastation our affair had caused. Her absence left an ache in my chest, a constant reminder of the selfish choices I had made. I wondered if she, too, carried the burden of guilt, if she understood the ripple effect of her involvement in our betrayal. The days stretched into endless nights of insomnia and restless contemplation. I found solace in long walks through the city, seeking answers in the quiet solitude of late evenings. The streets, once bustling with life, now seemed empty and desolate, mirroring the void within me. One evening, as I wandered aimlessly through the park where Ashley and I had shared stolen moments, I received a text message that shattered what little semblance of peace I had managed to cling to. It was from Ashley, a tentative inquiry disguised in a casual greeting. My heart raced as I read her words, torn between the urge to respond and the knowledge that doing so would only reopen wounds that were still raw and bleeding. Against my better judgment, I found myself typing out a reply, fingers trembling with a mixture of longing and dread. We agreed to meet, a decision born out of desperation for closure, for understanding, perhaps even for absolution. The coffee shop where we had once shared whispered confidences now bore witness to a tense reunion fraught with unspoken emotions. Ashley looked different, her once bright eyes now clouded with guilt and regret. Gone was the easy banter, replaced by a palpable unease that hung between us like a heavy fog. "I'm sorry," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the din of the cafe. "I never meant for any of this to happen." Her words echoed in the hollow space between us, a stark reminder of the wreckage we had both contributed to. I wanted to blame her, to lash out in anger for the turmoil she had brought into my life. But as I looked into her eyes, I saw a reflection of my own culpability, my own weakness in the face of temptation. "I know," I finally managed to reply, my voice hoarse with emotion. "But knowing doesn't change what happened." We talked for hours, dissecting the tangled web of our affair with a painful honesty that laid bare our vulnerabilities. Ashley revealed the loneliness she had felt in her own life, the void that my attention had briefly filled. I listened, grappling with the realization that my actions had not only hurt Lisa, but had also exploited Ashley's own vulnerabilities. As the evening wore on, we reached an unspoken understanding that our affair had been a misguided attempt to fill voids that existed within ourselves. We parted ways with a tentative promise to leave the past behind, to move forward with lives that had been forever altered by our choices. But as I walked away from that coffee shop, the weight of guilt settled heavier on my shoulders. I knew that closure was a luxury neither Lisa nor I could afford, that the scars of my infidelity would forever mark our lives. And yet, amid the wreckage, a glimmer of hope flickered, a fragile belief that perhaps one day, forgiveness might find its way to us both. The weeks following my meeting with Ashley were fraught with a new kind of tension at home. Lisa and I continued our marriage counseling, but the wounds of my infidelity seemed to deepen with each session. The therapist encouraged open communication, urging us to confront the underlying issues that had led to my betrayal. Lisa's demeanor had changed. Once vibrant and full of life, she now moved through our home with a quiet sadness that tore at my heart. Her eyes, once a reflection of warmth and love, now held a guardedness that spoke volumes of the pain I had caused. I longed to reach out to her, to bridge the growing chasm between us, but every attempt felt futile against the weight of my transgression. One evening, after a particularly intense therapy session, Lisa broached a question that had been lingering unspoken between us. "Jason, do you still love me?" Her voice was steady, but I detected a tremor beneath the surface. I hesitated, the truth catching in my throat like a jagged pill I couldn't swallow. I don't know," I finally admitted, my voice barely audible. Tears welled in Lisa's eyes, and she turned away, unable to meet my gaze. "I don't know if I can forgive you," she whispered, her words a knife twisting in my chest. Guilt gnawed at me like a relentless predator. I had destroyed the trust that had been the foundation of our marriage, leaving us both adrift in a sea of uncertainty. I wondered if forgiveness was even possible, if I could ever earn back the love and respect I had callously discarded. Days turned into weeks, and the atmosphere at home grew increasingly strained. Lisa withdrew further into herself, seeking solace in late-night walks and the company of friends who offered her the support I could no longer provide. I watched helplessly as our marriage slipped further from my grasp, my heart heavy with regret for the pain I had inflicted. Amidst the turmoil, I received occasional messages from Ashley, tentative inquiries disguised as casual updates on her life. Each message reopened wounds I had tried to bury, reminding me of the havoc our affair had wreaked on so many lives. I responded sparingly, the guilt of my betrayal casting a shadow over any semblance of camaraderie we had once shared. One evening, as I sat alone in our dimly lit living room, contemplating the wreckage of my marriage, a message from Ashley appeared on my phone, an invitation to meet for coffee, under the guise of closure. I hesitated, torn between the need for resolution and the fear of reopening old wounds. But curiosity got the better of me, and I found myself agreeing to meet her at a quiet cafe downtown, the same cafe where our ill-fated affair had begun. The air was thick with unspoken tension as I waited for Ashley to arrive. When she finally walked through the door, I was struck by how much had changed since our last meeting. Her once bright eyes now held a weariness that mirrored my own, and the easy smile that had once drawn me in was replaced by a cautious reserve. We exchanged awkward pleasantries, both acutely aware of the weight of our shared history. I struggled to find the right words, grappling with the guilt that still plagued me. "I'm sorry," Ashley began, her voice soft with remorse. "For everything." I nodded, unable to meet her gaze. "Me too," I murmured, the words catching in my throat. We talked for what felt like hours, navigating the minefield of our past with a fragile honesty. Ashley shared glimpses of her life, a life marked by loneliness and longing, a stark contrast to the facade of contentment she had projected during our brief affair. "I thought I needed something more," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I realize now that what I really needed was to confront my own insecurities." Her words resonated with me, stirring a sense of empathy I hadn't felt in months. We spoke of regrets and what-ifs, acknowledging the damage we had inflicted on those we loved most. As the evening drew to a close, we parted ways with a tentative understanding that closure was a luxury we might never fully attain, but that acknowledging our mistakes was a crucial step toward healing. I left the cafe with a heavy heart, the weight of my guilt pressing down on me like a leaden cloak. The road ahead seemed uncertain, fraught with the jagged edges of forgiveness and redemption that I feared might elude me forever. The days blurred into a monotonous routine of work and strained interactions at home. Lisa and I continued to attend counseling sessions, but progress seemed elusive. The rift between us had deepened, fueled by my inability to assuage her pain and her struggle to trust me again. I threw myself into distractions, a flurry of overtime at work, solitary runs in the early morning hours, anything to escape the suffocating atmosphere of our home. But no matter how fast or far I ran, the guilt followed me like a shadow, a constant reminder of the wreckage I had caused. Occasionally, I received messages from Ashley, casual inquiries about how I was doing or updates on her life. Each message reopened wounds I had tried to heal, serving as a painful reminder of the betrayal that had upended my marriage. One evening, as I sat alone in our quiet house nursing a glass of whiskey I didn't remember pouring, a text message from Ashley flashed on my phone screen. It was an invitation to meet for dinner, this time with no pretense of closure or resolution. I hesitated, torn between the desire to move forward and the fear of repeating past mistakes. But curiosity won out, and I found myself agreeing to meet her at a trendy restaurant downtown, a place that seemed incongruously bright and bustling against the backdrop of my inner turmoil. When Ashley arrived, the air between us crackled with tension. She looked different, subdued, almost fragile, as if the weight of our shared history had taken its toll. We exchanged awkward pleasantries, our conversation laced with unspoken regrets and lingering questions. "I didn't expect to see you again," Ashley admitted, her voice tinged with vulnerability. I nodded, unable to find words that could encapsulate the complexity of my emotions. "Neither did I confessed, the admission hanging heavily in the space between us. Over dinner, we navigated the minefield of our past with a cautious grace. Ashley spoke of her struggles since we last saw each other, of the guilt that had gnawed at her, of the realization that our affair had been a misguided attempt to fill voids that existed within ourselves. "I thought I needed something more," she murmured, her gaze fixed on her half-empty plate. "But in the end, I lost sight of what truly mattered." Her words resonated with me, stirring a well of empathy I had long suppressed. I saw in Ashley a reflection of my own journey, a journey marred by selfishness and misplaced desire, a journey that had left a trail of heartache in its wake. As the evening wore on, we delved deeper into the intricacies of our shared history. Ashley revealed vulnerabilities I had not seen before, her fear of loneliness, her longing for connection that had led her down a path fraught with consequences. "I never meant to hurt anyone," she whispered, her voice raw with emotion. "Least of all you." I nodded solemnly, acknowledging the truth in her words. We had both been casualties of our own desires, stumbling blindly toward an illusion of happiness that had crumbled beneath the weight of reality. When the check arrived, we settled it in silence, an unspoken agreement that our paths diverged here, at the intersection of regret and acceptance. We parted ways with a tentative promise to leave the past behind, to forge ahead with lives forever altered by our choices. As I walked away from the restaurant, the weight of my guilt felt somehow lighter. The road ahead remained uncertain, fraught with the jagged edges of forgiveness and redemption that I knew would take time to navigate. But for the first time in months, I felt a flicker of hope, a tentative belief that perhaps, somewhere down the line, healing might find its way to us all. The weeks following my dinner with Ashley brought a strange mix of relief and turmoil. The weight of guilt still hung heavy on my shoulders, but there was a glimmer of clarity amidst the chaos. Lisa and I continued with counseling, though our sessions had grown quieter, more introspective. One evening, after a particularly draining session, Lisa suggested a change of scenery, a weekend getaway to a quaint cabin nestled in the woods, a place where we had once found solace in the early years of our marriage. The drive was quiet, tension thick in the air between us. But as we arrived at the cabin and stepped out into the crisp autumn air, something shifted. The tranquility of nature enveloped us like a comforting embrace, easing the jagged edges of our strained relationship. Over the course of the weekend, we rediscovered each other in small moments, sharing meals by the crackling fire, taking long walks amidst the rustling leaves, and reminiscing about simpler times. The walls we had built around our hearts began to soften, replaced by a tentative hope for reconciliation. One evening, as we sat on the porch under a canopy of stars, Lisa spoke softly, her voice tinged with vulnerability. "I miss us, Jason," she confessed, her eyes searching mine for a flicker of understanding. I swallowed past the lump in my throat, the weight of her words settling heavily in my chest. "I miss us too," I admitted, the truth ringing clear in the quiet night. We talked late into the night, laying bare the wounds of our marriage with a raw honesty that had eluded us for so long. Lisa shared her fears of never fully trusting me again, of the pain my betrayal had inflicted. I listened, my heart breaking anew at the depth of her anguish. "I don't know if I can forgive you," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the rustling leaves. Tears pricked at my eyes, and I reached for her hand, holding it tightly against the uncertainty that lay ahead. "I understand," I murmured, the words a silent promise to do whatever it took to earn back her trust. In the days that followed, we returned home with a newfound sense of purpose, a commitment to rebuilding what we had nearly lost. We continued with counseling, but this time with a renewed determination to confront our demons together. The road ahead was fraught with challenges, the scars of my infidelity still raw and tender, but with each passing day, I felt a glimmer of hope, a belief that maybe, just maybe, we could emerge from the wreckage stronger than before. As I look back on those tumultuous months, I am reminded of the fragility of love and the resilience of the human spirit. Our journey was far from over, but in the quiet moments of reflection, I found solace in the knowledge that healing was possible, even in the aftermath of betrayal. Life settled into a semblance of normalcy after our weekend getaway, a fragile peace built on tentative trust and unspoken apologies. Lisa and I continued to navigate the aftermath of my infidelity, each day a delicate dance between remorse and renewal. Counseling sessions became a lifeline, providing a safe space for us to confront the lingering pain and resentment. We delved into the intricacies of our marriage with a newfound openness, unraveling years of miscommunication and unmet expectations. It was a painful process, but one that brought us closer together, inch by painstaking inch. One evening, as we sat in the therapist's office, Lisa broached a topic that had remained unspoken between us: the future of our marriage. "Where do we go from here, Jason?" Her voice was steady, though I detected a hint of apprehension beneath the surface. I hesitated, grappling with the weight of her question. "I want to make this work," I replied earnestly, my gaze locked with hers. "I want to rebuild what I've broken." Lisa nodded, her expression softening with a mixture of relief and uncertainty. "I want that too," she admitted quietly, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. From that moment on, we committed ourselves wholeheartedly to the process of healing. We set aside time each day to talk, truly talk, about our feelings, our fears, and our hopes for the future. It was a slow and often painful journey, but with each conversation, the walls between us crumbled a little more. Outside of counseling, I made a conscious effort to demonstrate my commitment to Lisa in tangible ways. I took on more household responsibilities, knowing that actions spoke louder than words. I surprised her with small gestures of affection: a bouquet of flowers, a homemade dinner, anything to remind her of the love that had once been the cornerstone of our relationship. Slowly but surely, the tension that had gripped our home began to ease. Laughter returned to our conversations, and moments of genuine connection became more frequent. We rediscovered the joy in simple pleasures: a shared joke, a quiet evening curled up on the couch, the comfort of knowing that despite our past mistakes, we were still choosing each other. Occasionally, Ashley's name resurfaced in passing, through a mutual acquaintance or a fleeting mention in conversation. Each time I felt a pang of guilt, a reminder of the havoc our affair had wreaked. But with Lisa by my side, I found strength in the knowledge that I was no longer alone in confronting my past mistakes. As the weeks turned into months, our marriage began to heal in ways I had once feared impossible. Trust, though fragile, blossomed anew between us, a testament to the resilience of love and the power of forgiveness. We learned to cherish each other's vulnerabilities, recognizing that our scars made us stronger together than we had ever been apart. Looking back on our journey, I am reminded of the fragility of trust and the profound impact of redemption. Our story is far from over, but in the quiet moments of reflection, I find gratitude for the second chance we have been granted, a chance to rebuild, to grow, and to forge a future founded on honesty, empathy, and unwavering commitment. The months that followed our renewed commitment to each other were a testament to the resilience of our marriage. Lisa and I navigated the ups and downs with a newfound sense of unity, learning to lean on each other in ways we hadn't before. Our counseling sessions continued, though they now focused more on rebuilding and strengthening our bond rather than unraveling past hurts. We worked through exercises designed to improve communication, to foster empathy, and to cultivate a deeper understanding of each other's needs. Outside of therapy, we made conscious efforts to create new memories, to replace the tarnished ones that had haunted us for so long. We took weekend trips to quaint bed and breakfasts, explored hiking trails that wound through breathtaking landscapes, and indulged in spontaneous adventures that brought laughter back into our lives. One particularly memorable weekend, we attended a local art festival, an event that had been a favorite of ours in the early years of our marriage. As we strolled hand in hand through rows of vibrant paintings and intricate sculptures, I couldn't help but marvel at how far we had come. "I never thought we'd get back to this place," Lisa murmured, her voice filled with wonder. I squeezed her hand gently, a lump forming in my throat. "Me neither," I admitted, my heart swelling with gratitude for the second chance we had been given. That evening, over a candlelit dinner at a cozy restaurant overlooking the river, we talked about our dreams for the future. We spoke of travel plans, career aspirations, and the possibility of starting a family, a topic that had once seemed impossibly distant. "I want us to have a fresh start," Lisa confessed, her eyes bright with hope, "to leave the past behind and build a future together." Her words echoed my own sentiments, and in that moment, I knew with unwavering certainty that our love was stronger than the mistakes of our past. We toasted to new beginnings, to forgiveness, and to the endless possibilities that lay ahead. In the weeks and months that followed, our relationship continued to flourish. We faced challenges together with a newfound resilience, weathering storms that once would have torn us apart. Trust, though fragile, continued to grow, a testament to the patience and commitment we had both invested in our marriage. Occasionally, thoughts of Ashley crossed my mind, fleeting reminders of a chapter of my life I had long since closed. I wondered how she was faring, if she had found the peace and healing she sought, but with each passing day, her memory faded into the background, overshadowed by the vibrant tapestry of our rekindled love. As I reflect on our journey, the pain, the heartache, and the hard-won victories, I am filled with gratitude for the resilience of the human spirit and the power of forgiveness. Our story is a testament to the transformative power of love, to its ability to heal wounds, to mend brokenness, and to illuminate even the darkest corners of the heart. Looking ahead, I am filled with hope for the future we are building together, a future founded on trust, honesty, and a deep-seated appreciation for the precious gift of second chances. The passing months brought a steady rhythm to our lives, a melody of forgiveness and renewed commitment that echoed in every facet of our relationship. Lisa and I continued to build upon the foundation of trust we had painstakingly reconstructed, navigating the challenges of everyday life with a newfound sense of unity. Our conversations evolved from the pain of betrayal to the possibilities of the future. We made plans together, practical ones like saving for a new home, and dreaming ones like exploring distant corners of the world. Each decision was a testament to our shared determination to move forward, leaving behind the shadows of our past. One evening, as we lounged on the couch in our cozy living room, Lisa broached a topic that had been weighing on her mind. "I've been thinking," she began tentatively, her fingers tracing idle patterns on the blanket draped across her lap. "Maybe it's time for us to consider starting a family." Her words hung in the air, pregnant with possibility. I studied her face, searching for any sign of doubt or hesitation. Instead, I found only a quiet resolve, a determination to embrace the future we had fought so hard to secure. "I think that would be wonderful," I replied softly, a rush of warmth spreading through my chest. "But only if you're ready," Lisa smiled, a radiant expression that illuminated the room. "I am," she whispered, her voice tinged with excitement and a hint of nervousness. In the weeks that followed, we embarked on a new journey together, one filled with doctor's appointments, nursery preparations, and heartfelt discussions about parenthood. We attended parenting classes and read books on child development, eager to prepare ourselves for the responsibilities that lay ahead. As Lisa's pregnancy progressed, I found myself marveling at the miracle unfolding before us. I watched in awe as her belly grew round with new life, feeling a sense of wonder and awe that transcended words. We painted the nursery a soft shade of blue, assembled cribs and changing tables with meticulous care, and filled the room with toys and books that spoke of the love we already felt for our unborn child. Amidst the excitement and anticipation, there were moments of quiet reflection. I thought back to the darkest days of our marriage, to the pain and heartache we had both endured. And yet, here we were, proof that love could conquer even the deepest wounds, that redemption was not just a distant dream, but a tangible reality. Occasionally, thoughts of Ashley resurfaced, a fleeting reminder of the choices I had made and the consequences we had both faced. But with each passing day, her memory faded into the background, overshadowed by the overwhelming joy of our impending parenthood. On a crisp autumn morning, our son was born, a perfect blend of Lisa's grace and resilience and my own quiet determination. As I held him for the first time, a surge of emotion washed over me, a love so fierce and unconditional that it took my breath away. In that moment, I knew with unwavering certainty that our journey was far from over. Parenthood brought new challenges and joys, each day a testament to the strength of our bond and the resilience of our love. Together, we faced the uncertainties of the future with courage and conviction, knowing that whatever obstacles lay ahead, we would overcome them as a family, united in our shared commitment to cherish and protect the precious gift of second chances. As our son grew, so did the depth of our bond. Parenthood became a shared adventure, each day unfolding with its own blend of laughter, challenges, and tender moments that filled our hearts to the brim. Lisa and I reveled in the joy of watching our child's first steps, hearing his infectious laughter echo through the halls of our home, and experiencing the world anew through his curious eyes. Our days were a whirlwind of diaper changes, late-night feedings, and soothing lullabies that filled the quiet corners of our home. Despite the exhaustion that often accompanied parenthood, there was a sense of fulfillment, a deep-seated happiness that permeated every aspect of our lives. Through it all, Lisa and I remained committed to nurturing our relationship amidst the demands of raising a child. We carved out moments of intimacy amidst the chaos, quiet dinners after our son had fallen asleep, stolen kisses in the kitchen amidst the clatter of pots and pans, and lazy Sunday mornings spent in each other's arms. Occasionally, the specter of our past would resurface in unexpected ways. A passing mention of infidelity in a movie, a chance encounter with an old acquaintance. But each time, we faced it together, fortified by the strength of our love and the unwavering commitment we had made to each other. One evening, as we sat on the porch swing watching the sunset, Lisa turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think about what might have been if—" She paused, her words hanging in the air, unspoken but understood. I took her hand in mine, squeezing it gently. "Sometimes," I admitted quietly, my heart heavy with the weight of our shared history. "But I wouldn't trade what we have now for anything." Lisa nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Neither would I," she replied softly, her eyes reflecting the love and gratitude we both felt for the life we had built together. In the years that followed, our family grew in both size and strength. We celebrated milestones, our son's first day of school, his victories on the soccer field, and the quiet moments of pride that came with watching him grow into a kind and compassionate young man. As our son blossomed, so did our relationship. We continued to prioritize communication and honesty, navigating the inevitable challenges of parenthood with a united front. Together, we weathered the storms of adolescence, supported each other through life's uncertainties, and found solace in the simple pleasures of everyday life. Looking back on our journey, the pain, the heartache, and the hard-won victories, I am filled with gratitude for the resilience of our love and the power of forgiveness. Our story is a testament to the transformative power of second chances, to the belief that with patience, commitment, and unwavering faith, even the deepest wounds can heal, and love can flourish once more. The passage of time seemed to weave our lives into a tapestry of contentment and routine. Lisa and I settled into a comfortable rhythm, our days a blend of work, family time, and the quiet moments that stitched our bond ever tighter. Our son continued to grow, his personality blossoming with each passing year. He became a reflection of the love and stability we had worked so hard to cultivate, a young man with a compassionate heart and a zest for life that filled our home with joy. As our focus shifted from diapers and sleepless nights to school events and extracurricular activities, Lisa and I found ourselves at a crossroads, a moment of reflection on the journey we had traveled together. "I can't believe how fast he's growing up," Lisa remarked one evening, her voice tinged with a mixture of pride and nostalgia. I nodded in agreement, watching our son chase after the dog in the backyard, his laughter ringing through the air. "He's turning into such a remarkable young man," I replied, my heart swelling with a father's pride. In the midst of our son's milestones, we also found time to nurture our own dreams and aspirations. Lisa pursued a passion for gardening, transforming our backyard into a colorful oasis of flowers and herbs that flourished under her care. I delved deeper into my career, finding fulfillment in my work and a sense of purpose that extended beyond the confines of our home. Occasionally, we revisited the topic of expanding our family, a conversation that had become more earnest as our son grew older. We weighed the pros and cons, discussed our hopes and fears, and ultimately decided to embrace the possibility of welcoming another child into our lives. Months passed, filled with anticipation and excitement as we prepared for the arrival of our second child. We attended prenatal appointments together, painted a nursery in soft shades of green and yellow, and eagerly awaited the day when our family would once again grow in size and love. On a crisp spring morning, our daughter was born, a perfect blend of Lisa's grace and our son's exuberance. As I held her tiny form in my arms, a wave of emotion washed over me, a love so pure and profound that it brought tears to my eyes. In the days and weeks that followed, our home was filled with the soft cries of a newborn, the gentle lullabies that echoed through the night, and the quiet moments of wonder as we marveled at the miracle of new life. Together, we navigated the sleepless nights, and the challenges of balancing the needs of two young children, finding strength in each other's embrace, and in the knowledge that our love was strong enough to weather any storm. Looking back on our journey, the trials and triumphs, the heartache and healing, I am filled with gratitude for the gift of forgiveness and the blessing of a second chance. Our story is a testament to the enduring power of love, to its ability to transform, to heal, and to bind us together in a tapestry of hope and resilience. Life settled into a comfortable routine with the addition of our daughter. Our days were a delicate balance of nurturing our growing family, pursuing our individual passions, and cherishing the moments of connection that bound us together. As our children grew, our home became a haven filled with laughter, love, and the everyday joys of parenthood. Our son took on the role of a protective older brother, doting on his sister with a tenderness that melted our hearts. Watching them interact filled us with a profound sense of gratitude for the family we had created, a testament to the resilience of our love and the power of forgiveness. Amidst the busyness of raising young children, Lisa and I continued to prioritize our relationship. We set aside time for date nights, quiet dinners at our favorite restaurant, leisurely walks in the park, and occasional weekend getaways that allowed us to reconnect away from the demands of daily life. One summer evening, as we sat on the porch swing watching the sun dip below the horizon, Lisa turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think about how far we've come?" she asked softly, her gaze searching mine. I nodded, a smile tugging at the corners of my lips. "All the time," I admitted, my heart swelling with pride for the family we had built together. "I never imagined we'd be here, but I'm grateful every day that we are." Lisa reached for my hand, intertwining her fingers with mine. "Me too," she murmured, her voice filled with emotion. "I couldn't imagine my life without you." In the years that followed, we faced new challenges and celebrated new milestones. A promotion at work, our children's achievements in school and extracurricular activities, and the bittersweet moments of watching them grow into independent young adults. Through it all, our love continued to evolve, a steadfast anchor amidst the ebb and flow of life's uncertainties. We weathered the occasional storm with patience and understanding, drawing strength from the bond we had forged through adversity. Occasionally, memories of Ashley would resurface, a faint echo of a past that had shaped our present in unexpected ways. But with each passing year, her presence faded into the background, overshadowed by the vibrant tapestry of our shared experiences and the enduring love that had blossomed from the ashes of betrayal. As I reflect on our journey, the twists and turns, the moments of triumph and heartache, I am filled with awe for the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of forgiveness. Our story is a testament to the belief that love, when nurtured with care and commitment, has the power to heal wounds, mend brokenness, and illuminate even the darkest corners of the heart. Looking ahead, I am filled with hope for the future, a future shaped by the lessons we have learned, the challenges we have overcome, and the unbreakable bond that continues to bind us together as a family. The passing years seem to blend seamlessly into a tapestry of shared memories and continued growth for our family. Our son and daughter thrived, each carving out their own paths in life while maintaining a close bond that warmed our hearts as parents. Lisa and I found ourselves at a new juncture as our children transitioned into adulthood and pursued their own dreams. We marveled at their accomplishments, academic successes, career milestones, and the relationships they formed that echoed the depth of our own. Our marriage, now seasoned with years of mutual support and understanding, continued to evolve. We faced challenges with a resilience born from our shared experiences, navigating the complexities of aging parents, career changes, and the inevitable shifts in priorities that come with each passing phase of life. Amidst the busyness of everyday life, we made a conscious effort to nurture our relationship. We cherished quiet evenings together, cooking meals side by side, sharing stories from our day, and finding comfort in the familiar rhythm of our shared routines. One autumn evening, as we sat by the fireplace sipping hot cocoa, Lisa broached a topic that had been weighing on her mind. "I've been thinking about retirement," she began, her voice soft yet tinged with uncertainty. "About what comes next for us." I set down my mug, meeting her gaze with a reassuring smile. "We've come this far together," I replied gently, reaching for her hand. "Whatever the future holds, we'll face it together." Lisa nodded, her expression thoughtful. I know, she murmured, a hint of relief coloring her words. I just want to make sure we're prepared for the changes ahead. In the weeks that followed, we embarked on a journey of planning and preparation, researching retirement options, discussing our dreams for the future, and envisioning the next chapter of our lives as a couple. We explored new hobbies together, rediscovered old passions, and savored the freedom that came with a life well lived. As retirement approached, we found ourselves reflecting on the twists and turns of our journey, the moments of joy and sorrow, the challenges and triumphs that had shaped us into who we were today. We took long walks hand in hand, reminiscing about our early days together and dreaming of the adventures that lay ahead. On the day of our retirement celebration, surrounded by friends and family who had walked alongside us through the years, I looked at Lisa with a heart full of gratitude. We had weathered the storms of life together, forging a love that had grown deeper and stronger with each passing year. As we raised our glasses in a toast to new beginnings, I knew with unwavering certainty that our story was far from over. Our journey had been marked by resilience, forgiveness, and the enduring power of love, a testament to the belief that with faith and commitment, even the most shattered hearts can heal, and second chances can lead to a lifetime of happiness. The tranquility of retirement settled over us like a comforting blanket, ushering in a new phase of life, filled with possibilities, and the freedom to explore them together. Lisa and I embraced this chapter with open arms, relishing in the simple pleasures of leisurely mornings, spontaneous adventures, and the luxury of time spent in each other's company. We traveled to places we had always dreamed of, exploring quaint European villages, hiking through rugged mountain trails, and lounging on sun-kissed beaches. Each journey was a testament to our shared sense of adventure and a celebration of the life we had built together. Amidst our travels, we discovered new passions and interests, attending cooking classes in Tuscany, delving into local history in ancient cities, and volunteering our time to causes close to our hearts. Our days were filled with laughter, learning, and the joy of experiencing the world through each other's eyes. As we settled into a routine of retirement, we also found moments of quiet reflection. We revisited old photo albums, reminiscing about milestones in our children's lives and the cherished memories we had created as a family. We savored lazy afternoons in our garden, tending to the flowers and vegetables that flourished under Lisa's care, and evenings spent stargazing from our porch swing, marveling at the beauty of the universe above us. Occasionally, the topic of our past would resurface, a gentle reminder of the trials we had overcome and the strength of our commitment to each other. We spoke openly about our journey, acknowledging the lessons learned and the gratitude we felt for the second chances that had shaped our lives. One evening, as we watched the sunset paint the sky in hues of pink and gold, Lisa turned to me with a tender smile. "Do you ever think about what our lives would have been like if—" She paused, her words trailing off into the quiet stillness of the moment. I took her hand in mine, squeezing it gently. "Sometimes," I admitted softly, my heart heavy with the weight of our shared history. "But I wouldn't change a thing." Lisa nodded, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "Neither would I," she whispered, her voice filled with love and gratitude. In the years that followed, we continued to embrace the beauty of retirement, the freedom to pursue our passions, the joy of discovering new adventures together, and the deepening of our love with each passing day. Our story was a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness and the enduring strength of a love that had weathered the trials of time. As we looked ahead to the future, I knew with unwavering certainty that our journey was far from over. Together, we would continue to write new chapters filled with love, laughter, and the boundless possibilities that awaited us on the horizon. Our retirement years continued to unfold with a rhythm that spoke of both peace and purpose. Lisa and I found joy in the simplicity of everyday moments, a shared breakfast on the patio, morning walks through our neighborhood, and quiet evenings curled up with books in our favorite armchairs. As our children embarked on their own journeys, building careers and starting families of their own, we relished the role of grandparents, a new chapter of love and connection that brought us immeasurable happiness. We delighted in babysitting our grandchildren, sharing stories of their parents' childhoods, and watching as they discovered the world with wide-eyed wonder. Our home became a gathering place, a haven where laughter echoed through the halls, and the aroma of freshly baked cookies filled the air. We celebrated birthdays, holidays, and milestones with the same enthusiasm that had defined our own upbringing, a legacy of love and tradition passed down through generations. Amidst the joys of grandparenthood, we also faced challenges that came with aging, aches and pains that whispered of the passage of time, and the inevitable loss of loved ones who had played pivotal roles in shaping our lives. We navigated these moments with grace and resilience, drawing strength from the bonds of family and the memories we held dear. One summer afternoon, as we sat on the porch swing watching our grandchildren play in the yard, Lisa turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Life has been so good to us," she murmured, her gaze softening with nostalgia. "I sometimes wonder if we've done enough to leave a lasting legacy." I took her hand in mine, squeezing it gently. "We've given our children and grandchildren the most precious gift of all, our love and our time," I replied, my voice filled with conviction. "That's a legacy that will endure for generations." Lisa smiled, a tear glistening in the corner of her eye. "You're right," she whispered, her voice filled with gratitude. "I couldn't ask for more." In the years that followed, we continued to cherish each moment as a gift. Whether it was watching our grandchildren graduate from school, celebrating milestone anniversaries with friends and family, or simply enjoying the beauty of a sunset together. Our love had weathered the trials of life, a testament to the power of forgiveness, resilience, and the unwavering commitment we had made to each other so many years ago. As we looked back on our journey, the highs and lows, the laughter and tears, I knew with unwavering certainty that our story was one of love, strength, and enduring hope. As we embraced the golden years of our lives, I felt a profound sense of peace, a deep-rooted happiness that came from knowing we had lived a life filled with love, laughter, and the promise of tomorrow. Together, we had built a legacy of love, one that would continue to shine brightly, guiding our family through the chapters yet to come. And as we faced the sunset of our lives together, I knew that our love story would live on, in the hearts of those we cherished most, and in the memories that would forever bind us together as a family. Our golden years unfolded with a gentle cadence, each day offering new opportunities to cherish the bonds we had nurtured over decades. Lisa and I found solace in the routines we had established, morning walks hand in hand, afternoon tea in our sunlit kitchen, and evenings spent reminiscing over old photographs that lined our walls. As the seasons turned, we embraced the changing landscapes of our lives with a sense of gratitude and wonder. Our grandchildren grew into young adults before our eyes, each pursuing their passions and carving out their own paths in the world. We took pride in their achievements, celebrating graduations, applauding career milestones, and supporting their dreams with unwavering encouragement. Amidst the joys of family gatherings and shared traditions, we also faced the inevitable challenges that come with aging. We navigated health concerns with resilience, leaning on each other for strength and comfort during times of uncertainty. Through it all, our love remained steadfast, a beacon of hope and reassurance that guided us through the complexities of life. One crisp autumn evening, as we sat by the crackling fire in our living room, Lisa turned to me with a soft smile. "Do you remember the first time we met?" she asked, her voice tinged with nostalgia. I chuckled softly, the memory vivid in my mind even after all these years. "How could I forget?" I replied, my heart warming at the thought of our beginnings. "You were helping me choose a fish tank for my office." Lisa nodded, her gaze thoughtful. "I never imagined that simple encounter would lead us here," she murmured, her fingers tracing patterns on the arm of her chair. I reached for her hand, intertwining our fingers. "Neither did I admitted, my voice filled with tenderness. "But I'm grateful every day that it did." In the quiet moments that followed, we reflected on the journey that had brought us to this place, the ups and downs, the laughter and tears, and the deep-rooted love that had woven its way through every chapter of our lives. We spoke of our dreams for the future, the legacy we hoped to leave behind, and the lessons we had learned along the way. As the years passed, our bond only grew stronger, a testament to the enduring power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. We embraced each day as a gift, cherishing the small moments of joy and finding strength in the knowledge that we had faced life's challenges together, hand in hand. As we approached our twilight years, Surrounded by the love of our children and grandchildren, I knew with unwavering certainty that ours was a love story for the ages. A story of forgiveness, resilience, and the profound beauty of a life lived in harmony with the ones we held dear. Together, we had weathered the storms of life and emerged stronger, our hearts intertwined in a bond that transcended time and space. And as we looked ahead to the horizon, I was filled with a deep sense of peace, a knowing that our love would endure, guiding us through the final chapters of our journey and beyond.